All right, to start off section 0.7, I want to review two problems from section 0.6. So right now I would pause the video and try these two problems. I'm about to go over them. All right, so for the top problem, hopefully you've just tried it, we're going to multiply by the conjugate of the denominator, 3 minus 2 root 5, over 3 minus 2 root 5, so that we make a difference of squares, and our square roots will cancel out. So let's FOIL out the bottom. We get 9 minus 6 root 5s plus 6 root 5, so they cancel, minus 4 times the square root of 25, which is 4 times 5, also known as 20. And 9 minus 20 is negative 11. On top, when we FOIL, we get 12 minus 4 times 2 is 8 root 5s plus 3 root 5s minus 2 root 25s, which is 2 times 5, which is negative 10. So 12 minus 10 is 2. And then a negative 8 of these plus 3 of them is negative 5 of them. And I don't have a greatest common factor to be able to worry about reducing. If I did, I would. But there's my final answer. Now, a lot of people don't like a negative on bottom, so I could rewrite it negative 2 plus 5 root 5 over a positive 11 if you wanted to. As for this one, we have to cube everything on top, so 2 cubed is 8. And then we get power to a power, I multiply them. So I get x to the negative 2. On bottom, I get 4 squared is 16. And I have to multiply these and get negative 8 thirds. All right, negative exponents have to move. So reducing these, I get 1/2. They don't move, they don't have negative exponents. But at x to the 8 thirds over x squared, and when dividing, I need to subtract. So 8 thirds take away 6 thirds is 2 thirds. Right, got common denominators. 8 thirds take away 6 thirds is 2 thirds. And that's it. All right, moving on to section 0.7. We've been taught that the square root of negative 16 is not a real number because x squared cannot equal a negative 16. Anything squared is positive, so we can't take a square root of a negative. So what we do is we take square root of negative 16 and we break it up into a square root of a negative 1 times the square root of 16. And we do this because we don't like the idea of no solution. We need a solution. These come up in math all the time, and we can't just stop because we got something that wasn't real. So we make a complex number, and we make a square root of negative 1, which is I, times root 16, which becomes 4i, and that is a complex number. We're beyond real numbers now. And complex numbers are made up of real plus imaginary parts. So this is what they'd call standard form of a complex number. All right, so let's try something with this. We could do addition and subtraction problems. They aren't going to be different at all. Let's say we had 2 minus I minus 3 minus 4i for simplicity's sake. How do we add and subtract? Well, first of all, if I have a negative sign here, I should distribute it. So I get negative 3 plus 4i, and then I just add and subtract like terms. So I'd get negative 1 plus 3i. Multiplication's a little different. Let's take the exact same things, just because I'm not creative, and let's multiply. I'm going to have to FOIL. So 2 times 3 is 6. And I get negative 8i. And I get negative 3i. And now I get a positive 4i squared, and that's something new. So we need to talk about that. But here I get 6 minus 11i plus 4i squared, and that is not done. So let's talk about this. We said that the square root of -1 is I. So if I square both sides of this, square root and the square cancel out, and I get -1 is I squared. And that's really important, and I will give you more notes on this in class tomorrow, but you need to know that I squared is a real number, -1. So this becomes 4 times -1. So 6 minus 4 is 2 minus 11i. And that's how we're going to multiply. And I think that is more than you need for your homework tonight, but we'll learn how to divide tomorrow. Good luck on your homework.